Yeah, we are live. Welcome to my live. Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's been a super activated day, without question. Long day, yeah, but more of the same. Let me get this going. Let me get my monitors set up. I don't think we're going to do any music related. I'm actually working on some puzzles, and one of my Rude Roxas snapped. So I want to restring that one. So we're going to restring that. It's not gonna be a long stream. We're gonna have a short stream today. Probably gonna be a short stream, but nonetheless, we're gonna stream. We kind of made a little cheat code, playing the private collection, but I don't want to rely on that too much. I want to actually stream. So yeah, that's that. But I don't think we're gonna work on anything in reason tonight. I don't. You never know. Anything could happen, but see what would really be nice if we could just like watch other type of content at the same time, like, but that creates all types of friction with the YouTube algorithm and whatnot, where it's playing. If I'm watching something, like let's say if I want to watch a Western while I'm up here restreaming the Rue Rashas, I can have it on my other screen and I can watch that, but then it'd be a blank screen over here. So, we'll figure something out. Finishing up this nice little bit of dinner that we have. Nothing too serious. But it's powerful knowing that every day, every moment is an opportunity to move closer to a greater destination. And that's what we're doing. Like for those of you who are new to my channel, every day we're moving closer to our destination, shooting up flares for those who are headed in the same similar direction. I can't say it's the same direction because I don't know your goals and your dreams and things of that nature. But if we're moving in the same direction, mhm, we'll shoot up a flare. But if it's too much friction, only enough friction to move us forward. Unnecessary friction that causes us to drift. And we can only spend so much time drifting. We can't spend too much time. We only got so much time. It's like this week, we got like 5 operational days ahead of us to satisfy a goal that is like imperative. It's super important. So we cannot afford to, let's just say, take a day off. Now, mind you, we're not going to work ourselves into the ground early. Not at all. Been there, done that. But the goal does call for an extreme, unwavering discipline that I do have access to. So we're exercising that discipline because we sometimes joke about it, but no one knocked on my door today and said, "Yeah, those head of household responsibilities you got, yeah, we got that for you." But we did have some, like I say it's a miracle. I won't go that far, but I mean, crazy. Like, right, I go to the gas station to fill up, and I guess at the pumps they charge a specific fee that's not the amount of gas that you pump. So I think it was like $60. So I go in to pump the gas, put the pump in, pay with my card. No gas comes out. Mm. I look at my phone. Look, I see a notification, $60 taken out. And so I get it. It's like a placeholder to, excuse me, to activate the pump. So I go into and when I get inside, I speak to the clerk. I'm a respectful guy. I know how to use my words. So I communicate to him in the best way that I can what the issue is. And he's like, he kind of delegates it to somebody else. Young brother, light eyes, tattooed up. And he's kind of communicating with a measure of hostility. And I register, I don't have to receive the hostility. See, people could talk crazy, they can say whatever they want to say. But I asked him, I was like, why you getting tight with me? And then it kind of led into you're gonna have to wait, and that's fine. But the guy at the register wanted to charge me another $40. And my thing was, well, if it's holding out 60 on my card already, you want me to put down another 40? Nah, you tripping. And he's like, we just gonna have to wait. I'm like, you getting tight with me. He's like, well, I'm just gonna end the conversation. So nobody in that encounter won. I would say good way to de-escalate it. Could have gone sour. But then when I leave, the customer who was behind me, whether or not he put the money down or whatever, somebody, the clerk is like, yeah, man, he said he put $30 on it. I'm like, what? Put $30 on it? What you talking about? Yeah, he said he was trying to get your attention when you left. So I move, I walk with intention. Once I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I'm headed to the exit. So I go in. He's like, yeah. He kind of looked at me, kind of like, yeah, man, put 30 on 12. I'm like, where? Okay. To me, that's like a gift. That's like a miracle. Like, I didn't expect that. I didn't anticipate that. So those type of encounters, we look for those. Rob, what up, man? How you today? Spend no bread. Want to go get me some more ginger ale, but we have to make some plays before we go out spending anything. Exercising that discipline. Where my stuff at? Mhm. That drink that I'm drinking is good, man. Super tasty. Yeah, man. So I'm pretty I'm pretty pleased. Like today was one of those days we get the butter from the duck. Where, like I said, we got to do the impossible. Oh, you behind? I don't really think there's any such thing as being behind. Really, you just have to. You don't have to do anything, but just get organized. And then once that organization is kind of put together properly, then you can move accordingly. Whereas being disorganized definitely not going to it's not going to yield anything favorable. That's the thing when I think about artists, when I think about rappers and producers. "Yeah, you say about done with this supplements?" Yeah, man, definitely, man. You gotta take care of yourself, man. That I heard something about there was some new virus running around. That's you don't got that. You got like a regular cold or something, or do you got the whatever? I'm not really into the news. Like I'm aware of, like I have situational awareness, so I'm aware of what's kind of going on in the world. But when I did come across some of the news, they were talking about I think it was a cruise ship that a lot of people got sick on it. Hope you ain't got that. Whatever it is, man, knock it out. I'm almost shocked at how I'm having to clean these root Roxas too. Yeah, got that Jayhawk dome. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's one of my favorite hats. Yeah. I like this one because this one got I think this is the 1912. I don't know which one it is. I think it's like 1912 or 1916. Jayhawk has been around for a minute. So yeah, I like this one. Or at least this version of the Jayhawk. Now I'm supposed to have 108 of these. I don't think that these are 108. Now what I could do is pop this other one and kind of fill it out, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let that go naturally. You said that was the last state I lived in the army. Had a Vietnamese honey when I returned from Iraq. That we was like, yeah, man. Oh, man, there's some beautiful women on this planet, man. Once upon a time, I said I could fall in love every day. I don't think my ex-wife liked that too much. But she probably did. That part of like my personality, that aspect of my personality. So many beautiful women out here. They can fall in love every day. Now I don't know if they can fall in love every day, but that's a different conversation. That's a different YouTube channel. That's not for this. This not for this algorithm. Cause that type of conversation it'd be stirring up all types of controversy. Yeah, man. But no, I got some family. Like I told you, I got some people out in the Midwest. So mm, yeah, been out to Overland Park, and yeah, man, had a good time out there. Kansas is an interesting state. The Midwest altogether is just is unique. So I haven't spent much time. Like I've been out to the West Coast and whatnot, but I haven't spent a considerable amount of time to say like in Nevada or like New Mexico, like that part of the country. I mean, the Midwest, I've been all over there. What we got going on over here? Yeah, man. It's like I'm trying to figure out this YouTube live. YouTube has all these weird doggone. Right now, I think my stream is doing everything is clear. I could tell like everything is pretty clear. I'm not getting no errors over here. But man, I'm trying to say, man, like today, like a day like today, it would have been beneficial to say to go to bed early. But like I said, I'm committed to this streaming in a way that like I put my mind to it for like the outcome that I want from it. I haven't fully like seen that through yet, but it's something that I wanted to do for some time, and there's really no excuse from a just say from a technical perspective. There's no excuse to why I haven't been streaming well before. But the time is now. So I'm telling one of my buddies that this is a real transitional period right now for a lot of guys, a lot of men, especially like at our age group. A lot of men, man, are going through because like the world is tripping right now. So there's a lot of that's why I said like with the issue with the young brother at the gas station. And it's like, man, you don't that that anger. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm no stranger to anger. I don't think any of us are. But it's like, man, you holding that anger, man, at work. Like when I work my jobs, like I found a way to even like when I'm doing work that I don't like doing, I don't want to do. Like I have joy when I'm doing it. And I think I liken that to the Lord, you know. Like a lot of time when I think of like with like rappers, right? You got rappers who can drop a post, drop an album, 20, 30, 50, 100 people. I call them, like they show love or whatever. That see, that's one of the big errors of like the rap game, like showing love. Like is that's not even really love. Like if somebody buys your music, and I know it's a demonstration of it, but I don't think that that's what love is. Like I mean, love can be transactional, but the music game is all really based around transaction at this point for a lot of artists. And it's like if you don't, subsidize their lifestyle, then they're not gonna really be they're not gonna be pleased with that. I'm shocked at the amount of I didn't even count these while I was clearing them out. And now we got that cleared. We're gonna get some new string for it. Yeah, man, this is deep. I didn't know there was that much hair trapped in the Rubaksha. But you see what he said? I went straight from desert heat to that blizzard in Kansas when I came back. '07, man. So you've been back for a while, man. 2007, man. I often say, where did the time go? Where did the time go, man? And then when I answer that question to myself, we lived it. Mm. 2007 is about to be 20 years ago. A year from now. 20 years? I think that's something I was thinking about with some younger artists, like young men. And I was like this when I was younger. Like when I'd be like with older people, you want to impress upon them that like an older man to tell you like get you a job that pays you $40,000 a year, right? That's what an older man would say. Get you a job that pays you 40,000 a year, 50 a year. A younger man would say, I want 100,000. No conversation of do you deserve 100,000? Do you possess a skill set? Have you demonstrated in any capacity that that's what you're needed at that rate? And it's like, man, young man, you setting yourself up. You setting yourself up for a rude awakening because it's like we talked about this a couple of days ago. Like guys who are in their late 40s, I don't know that. 50s, but I know everything I needed to know about the 20s. We passed that. We passed that. Whether or not we passed with flying colors or not, that's a different conversation. But we passed that. And a guy who's in his 20s, he want to tell a dude who's in his 30s something. And it's like, man, if you lost your mind, you'd be better suited asking that man in his 30s, like, hey, what you what's that terrain like? What's that like? I haven't crossed that into that realm yet. What's that like? But in this rat game, it's like they just want to sit in groups and get high and rhyme words and make beats. I say, man, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not gonna get that time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. It ain't coming back. And so then they spend their 20s trying to prove that they know something rather than like going out there and falling on their face in the world and really learning the world and learning from men that came before them. Can't beat it. We're gonna go with the blue string. Yeah, we're gonna go with this blue string. It's always best to go a little bit more than you think, just in case. We got going on here. He said redacted. I don't know if you deleted it before I saw it. Now I'm not a Hindu and I'm not Buddhist, but I do enjoy my root Rakshas. I sure do. I joke, I call my papa Bible thumper. He not going for it. There's only one way to the Father. All that other culture stuff, man, you playing at your own risk with that one, Holmes. You're playing at your own risk. Man, it's hot out there, man. It was hot today, man. We at the point now, we're at the time of year, like this time, man, you can guarantee two things. It's gonna be like 98 degrees, and then it's gonna rain. And we still at the point of time where it might cool down with the rain, but when it's hot, man, it's hot. Okay, want to get the right knot. Get this one in here. Tie that over there. Flip it under. And then draw it in. Draw it in. Yeah. Just like that. Draw it in. Yeah, what I say, I got one of them lyrics. Some things you just don't forget, like knowing how to tie a knot. I mean, long as you keep my marbles. Now, if I lose my marbles, then maybe tying a knot will be something I still remember. Because you lose your marbles, there's certain things you still can remember. You just can't make new memories, or I don't even think they really have an answer for really what's going on with that. So to say, I'm not gonna speculate and be like, well, I lose my marbles, I can't make a new memory. I don't know. Maybe I just can't communicate it. All right, so let's get this here. And then we're gonna take this thread over here, put that over this, and then we're gonna draw that through here like this. Oh man. Yeah, man. I'm just super grateful today, I'm saying, to make it back to the spot. Cause there people didn't make it to the spot today. They didn't go there. You say go their way. It didn't go how they wanted it to go. I know that much. And it don't take much for it to not go your way. It's, you play around. It don't take much. All right, so now we're gonna string up the root rocks. You probably can't even see it. They real tiny little beads. So we got that for there. Right. Mhm. Start with one. Start with one. Get them all in. Clear that hair out. Now I could put knots in between each one, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So we got three of them now. Put that through. Oh, we got 12 people here, man. Where y'all from, man? What y'all got going on, man? Tuesday night just scrolling on YouTube? Yeah, be like that sometimes. I find when I do my scrolling on YouTube, it's either real late, like real late, or I'm intentionally there. Like I'm trying to listen to an audio book or something. I'm listening to a podcast. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be on here, man, I'm just gonna hit the live button. I'm already alive. So since I'm alive, it be like I said, like when it comes to like production and rap and it's all these gimmicks, man. It's just like, man, just live, man. Trying to get on and make it look a certain way. That's a waste of time. Now that's a little bit before my time. Like I was on like I would get CDs and whatnot from there and music from there, but it's a I released my first project in 2007. I think it was took me 7 days to record it. So either it was December 2006, I think it was, that December. That last week in December, that last week in December is when I released The Heart of the State. The Heart of the State is viewed as I don't see where I have it. I don't know where it is. But that is viewed as a local classic, to say the least. But sometimes I talk about that. Like, so at that time period, like, releasing CDs was pretty much the only go-to way. And the guys who were releasing music online were kind of looked down upon. See, it's funny how times turn. And it's funny how now you got guys who their whole introduction is through online. Like I'm of the generation of guys who brought like rap for like the consumer online. Just like how like there's a generation of guys who brought retail trading online. Like those guys who are you got some young guys, you know what I'm saying, who when Robinhood launched, They were like in middle school. You see what I'm saying? So it's like those guys where the older guys, you had to have access to and you be accredited investor and all type of stuff and whatnot. So same goes to kind of like with rap. So by the time like that Piff was around, I was not I wasn't dropping mixtapes and things like that. Like I said, this whole time, like as I've been, like that's what I said, it's gonna be like the 20th anniversary for the Heart of the State next year. So it's like I think I was ahead of the curve, but I was also behind the curve with not, kind of being late to the like I said, I'm one of like I know how to be on time and be punctual, like especially like professionally. But let's just say creatively, artistically, I'm on time like 91%. I'm not on time 100%. So I wasn't on time with uploading to streaming, and that's what a lot of these projects that I'm working on right now, like what you guys see me working on, like extra office hours and things of that nature. This is why like I don't get frustrated with artists, but there's this kind of mentality in the rap game of if I don't see what you're doing, and it's really tied in the ego. See, and that's how I tell some young guys that I deal with and work with. It's like the phase of life that they're at, they haven't had that time to work on like shedding their ego. I'm still shedding mine, right? I think it's a lifetime thing that men we have to. But some of these guys who are rapping and whatnot, I got 10 years over them of shit. So when we interact, they interacting from a place of I have to defend myself. I have to I have to protect myself from an individual who's like not even coming to attack them. And that's like a life lesson. Like you don't need to be on defense if you're not being attacked. I mean, you can say be on defense, but so what you saying? Yeah, you got to get that re-release, man. Like the Heart of the State, man. That one, man. That's and see, like I got a song. How do I say it's like what you doing? It's basically like what you doing now. Like I was doing 10 years ago. It's like, well, why don't you drop and release music? Like one, it's not my goal. I think that's also something that happens in the rap game too. The assumption that everybody's end goal is the same because the programming pushes that. Get a deal, get signed, have unlimited access to the most beautiful women in the world, travel the world, eat at the finest locations from rhyming words. And it's like, man, that's just some of us like got to travel the world and never had to do it for rhyming or rapping or making beats. But I think one of the downsides of the Heart of the State is some of those beats. See, this is why it's like a shady side of the music production game. This is why you don't see me leasing beats and licensing beats. I got the song, sell a beat to one rapper, you can sell it to 100. If somebody else got it, rare form don't want it. See, rappers now, see, producers and rappers have this really weird kind of like one hand washes the other. So you got producers, let's just say like if you have a catalog of 200 beats, 200 beats to 200 to 700 beats. Let's just put it like that. 200 to 700 beats in a beat store that anybody could buy at any time. On the front end, it's like a producer's dream. Like, yeah, like, but logistically, it's a nightmare because now, let's say like registration. I just don't know nothing about registering their music. And this game, this business, it's propped up on that. It's not propped up on guys like me who have been around. It because guys like me, I know the ins and outs. The young artists don't know the ins and outs. And then they can be manipulated for the next 10, 15 years. And then wake up like How did it happen? Why did it happen? Like, people, like, at the on the industry level of this, like, it's happening in real time. It's happening so, like, the top artists, top acts right now, and, I'm not really big on name dropping, but so you can fill in the blank. Those guys right now are basically in, say, like, renegotiation. They've been around long enough to know, like, man, they've been playing with me. Even if they made tons of money, ungodly amounts of money. You say the archives hold relevance more now than ever. I think that's interesting too. And see, we haven't even really tapped into the, let's say, archives, right? So what we play when we run our sessions, those are all this, and I think I've told you this. Those are all the songs that I recorded once I got out the ICU. So when I went into the ICU, I hadn't recorded. Maybe I had recorded something leading up to, but I was in like real grind mode before I like nearly worked myself to death. So once I get out the ICU, mind you, like I said, my life is all type of out of order at this point in time. And I'm doing everything I can to keep it, keep things moving, keep things proper. Doing a terrible job at it. The entire world crumbling around, right? I say like how you can say like as men, oftentimes we live on this planet Earth and we're really carrying more than one man is supposed to ever carry. And you go ahead to carry it because it's yours. So when I get out the ICU for whatever reason, because I'm in like circles of artists and I'm always around kind of like the pulse of like artistry, but I always kind of like exist doing my own thing. I don't know what the first one was, but it's called Muscle Memory. I knock out that first song, and from there, it's just a kind of a ongoing, I would say, release of creative expression. So all those songs that everybody hears in the private collection, they will become archives, yes, but I probably have 10 or 15 projects before them. Oh, they just say if I released The Heart of the State first year, 2007 to 2015, let's just say we got like 10 projects. I look at that period of time as like my archive. 2007 to 2015. That's why I say, like when it comes like to these artists, there's a whole, and I don't get mad at them because I see them like my algorithm shows it to me. I see guys on this platform, 22, 23, and I'm like, I don't want to embarrass you, but you're living in your mama's basement. So you better maximize it. Somebody is covering the electric, what I like to call all of the head of household. See, once you become head of household, man, who's going to finance you sitting in your studio for 10 hours to record your body of work for the next 15 years? That would be to the guy who's 23 years old right now, 24 years old, and he's nice. I'm nice. And you got people telling him he's nice. You got people all what I call them, not that I'm against, positive and reinforcement and encouragement, but a lot of times, let's say the fans set they kind of set artists up because they prop them up, and but they don't like you don't even got a driver's license yet, my brother. The album is great, but your license is suspended. Okay, your beats are on point. Your beats is fire, but they about to turn your lights out, and you're not doing anything to generate any income in the foreseeable next 12 hours, the next foreseeable 24 hours. And so it's like, yeah, you super gifted and talented with the raps and the beats, but yeah, you got some. You got some what I like to call now that I didn't necessarily have the vocabulary for. You got a lot of drift and you got a lot of leak. So you leaking and you drifting. It's a recipe for disaster. But if you don't have 150,000 Spotify listeners and you're not living the dream, a lot of young rappers and artists don't want to hear it. That's why working with artists really is not a lucrative business, but it's like I said in my case, it's a labor of love, I think, because like I said, man, I see these guys. They're on here right now. they they running their sessions and what they think that this business and this game is gonna do for them is not. And I have no issue telling them that, but they have a big issue hearing it because it almost is like shatters your dream. And it's like, don't let your dream be shattered. You just got to revise your approach. You got to revise your approach because otherwise, you know what I'm saying, you're going that time is gonna pass anyway. And you want $150,000 salary and you've never even had a $20,000 salary. Nobody has paid you 25,000, but somehow music and rap, streaming and is gonna somehow finance that. And it's like, man, you better wake up. You better wake up and go to a coffee house or something. You better figure something out because that times and the sad thing for especially like the rappers, producers is a little bit different because they're kind of revenue stream. Like I said, right now the producers at the game in a chokehold because just say if a producer could figure out how to get multiple rappers to buy the same beat, they found a cheat code. But see, and this is why it's like at a serious level, at an administrative level, it's a nightmare because how you going to administer or administrate rights for music that 50 people are on? How that work? So it's actually kind of a, and I think younger artists are kind of waking up to that because like the generation and era we come from. Now, dudes do remix, like, and we got those albums, we got that project, the Jacket for Beat, doing my freestyles, but that type of music isn't, say, like for profit. These young guys think, okay, I'm gonna go to the beat store, I'm gonna buy the lease for $50 because I don't have $10,000 for a budget. I don't have 50 to $5,000 for production. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a producer that has a bundle, and this is why it's so generic when you think about some of these. And I'm not gonna name these platforms by name because they get their inception like 2012, 2013, where it was super novel and it was like unheard of because you want access to high quality production at a reasonable rate. That's not fundamentally flawed. Access to high quality production at a reasonable rate. That's not bad. But where it gets insane is where the producer is now incentivized. I'm not incentivized to make the best quality music or music that resonates with a specific artist. The producer is incentivized to make music that on an inventory level, one beat, 50 people. One lease, 25.99. You get the waves and the MP3s, bump it up to 49.99. You get the stems, bump it up to 199. And if I could get 50 people to buy that 199, and it's like I said, so counterintuitive, you can be like, yeah, I made $250,000. I made $1 million off of selling beats. And you got those guys out there. And it's like, hey man, good for you. Great. But fundamentally, and like I said, administratively, It's flawed because now on that one beat, it has to be registered with 5 different societies who are all going to be looking to claim their stake to it on your behalf for their systems. They're gonna be like, well, I mean, it's like a goal. Like with the introduction of these algorithms and these content IDs, it's a gold mine. Because if let's just say if I wanted to play that game, I would have all of my instrumentals, content ID with a third party that's not these distributors. Because when you use the distributor, they are the one who determine and identify if it's flies and if it passes. You don't. So no, that's just another tactic of you have to give up your rights for them to do that. It's all about rights and rights management. So I would go with a third party that doesn't take those rights, and every beat would get content ID, and then sell them to, like I said, sell a beat to one rapper. You can sell it to 100. So sell it to one rapper, find 99 other suckers, and that's the sad part. And it's not really sad like boo-hoo cry about it sad. It's sad like pathetic about what kind of hip hop has come to where if I talk to like the people who raised me, they'll tell me hip hop is dead, it's dying. And these are guys that like saw it from the beginning. They definitely not ready. They man, they so not ready, man. They are not ready at all. That's why I said like it's super organic. Like I didn't really plan. Like a lot of times rappers be looking too deep into stuff. Like it's just a name. Like they was asking one of my homegirls, like, what does your name mean? And I didn't get annoyed with it, but it's like, dude, it's just a name. That's just her name, bro. Like you really like digging to figure like there's some deep, auspicious, esoteric meaning to why somebody would make their name what their name is. And a lot of times it's not that deep. So, but when I dropped that ready, that actually was like a response to like when I deal with certain artists and certain rappers, it's hard for me to determine it's difficult for me to determine the genuine nature of our encounter with them. And why do I say that? Because the rap game specific it's a one man spot mentality. And the whole this is why I say there's no friends in the rap game. I've been saying that for years. There ain't no uh, there's one spot. It can't it's like okay, so perfect example, the eye of the needle, right? Y'all probably can't see the needle. There's enough room on the eye of the needle for every useful man on earth. But the man who's driven by ego, he feel he can only be the only one on the needle. Ain't no more room. See, like when you on a team, specifically when you on a team of like leaders, like you grow to appreciate the fact that okay, yeah, I'm bad. I am. But they bad too. Oh, he bad too? Oh, I'm not the only one. I tell you in the rat game way it is, it's like I'm so nice. I'm the only one who should be able to rhyme words ever again. That's the type of let's just call it arrogance that exists in the rap corner of the industry. And guys really move like that. And what it really is an indicator of, see, there's another reason why they really don't like what I be kicking because that that rigidity of standard that is applied to other artists is often generally applied to the self. And that's what I think is why I call it mirror moments. A lot of people they're not ready Like the mirror will never betray me ever. My mirror, it will only and always reflect back to me what I put in front of it. It won't deviate. I don't believe in the mysticism and all of that. It's not going, like in the fairy tales, in the castles, the mirror, you could touch the mirror and it could kind of float and uh-uh. It's only going to reflect back to me exactly what I put in front of it. So then it's my responsibility if to put in front of that mirror what I want to see back. And anytime there's a deviation from that, what I put that there. So when we start having these type of discussions and conversations, guys aren't they don't want to see that reflection because and I think this is general for I can't speak for all people. I created my armor many years ago. Many, 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 many years ago. And I've been carrying it and I'm still carrying it. And it's heavy because we live in a world where if you don't have on that armor, man, it'll eat you alive. Why does he get to be at peace? I can't find peace. Let me do something to disrupt this peace. All right, that didn't work. Let me try this. Oh, that didn't work. Let me up the ante. Why do they get to have love? Why did and it's a real it can get real funky real quick. And the rat game just I think it just puts that into a like a petri dish. And so you have all of these personalities who genuinely, I would think, just want to creatively express themselves in the best way that they know how. But that creative expression is then measured by false illusions of competition. This is why over here we say competition is inferior to creativity. It's inferior to collaboration. What you could do competing pales to what you could do collaborating. And I'm also a firm believer where like you might have to just collaborate with yourself. But as I embrace team building and recognizing the importance of teams, man, trying to get through this life and not being a team player, it's another recipe for disaster. And you might have to go out on solo missions. You might have to be by yourself. You might not have the support that you would want. So it's not to say, well, you just got to collaborate and rely on other. Nah, but man, and a lot of times, especially like in the rat game, I say that was probably one of my biggest errors. I didn't delegate a team build in the capacity that would have been more favorable. I'm gonna do everything myself. Do everything myself. And that always I knew that it would take me longer to achieve my goals. It's like a man trying to build a house. Could men build houses? And that's another thing this really kind of it doesn't get me upset, but it boils my on this internet, you got men running around here acting like building a house or building a building is equivalent to like forging a universe. It's like, man, you lost your damn mind. So it's like, is building a house complex and complicated? Sure, I get that, but the crane don't get any credit. It's just man did it. The crane didn't get it. The cables, the steel, the raw materials, they don't get no credit. It's just man builds the house. What? The nails don't get any credit. The power tools, no. Well, a man built that. Like, all right, man. Tripping, bro. Absolutely tripping. And all of this plays out in the music. And I find it fascinating because what I like to call like this is me and my onyx and ivory tower, right? I'm in my onyx and ivory tower, like making all these observations. And I think a lot of times rappers are like, you don't apply it to yourself. And what they don't realize is that I'm well beyond applying it to myself. How can I even come to know it? That's why they when they kind of miss, if they can get past like what I would say is like the creative jealousy, which I don't really understand too deeply, but it's like every perspective is like, let's say it's valid if you participate. So just because I don't like your contribution doesn't take away from your contribution adding or subtracting to the game. And I think a lot of times that gets lost. And unless I got that one lyric, it's like some people gonna love it, some people gonna hate it. I skip that thought and just create it. Straight to the source, skip the middleman. Direct to the consumer, that's the plan. Now, if you heard those lyrics, like I said, we are about we're 1 year away from 2027. Lord willing, we even get to see that. 2007, man, was 20 years ago. And the people born in, they're in a position and condition. They got to figure it out. They got to get into position. And like right now, they got Rolling Loud going around. I'm looking at who's on the tour, and none of that music really like resonates with me, like where I'm at in life. But I could understand like to the people who are like in their early 20s and whatnot. Like, not that I would think that that music is what I would listen to in my 20s. Probably not. But I find it super fascinating that, kind of how this music and this sound kind of reflects the state of humanity. That's why I said like rap itself is dying. Rap as I know it. Rap as I know it is out of here. And but I'm where I am encouraged and what I find fascinating as the contributions that I've made, as many others have made, what comes next after it, will I even be able to recognize it? That's what it's like the brothers who did jazz and rock and roll, like whatever genres came after that, that they contributed to creating that. So it's meanwhile, what I'm saying, rappers wanna fight for that one spot. Hear me, I'm here. That's how I think it looks what it sounds like. I'm here. But they don't communicate it that way. I'm the last person to rap. Like, all right, brother. You think you better than me? And it's like, man, kill that ego. Cause why would anyone even think? Like, how crazy is it to think in your mind, you better than me? What difference does it make? Who's the best? And I don't think that question has ever been answered. What difference does it make who the best? Who the nicest? Who the fastest? Does it make that big of a difference? I don't think it does. Did you see a report on Iran cyber attack on Spotify today? Nah, I didn't. I did not see that. See, when I hear that, one, it's not that I'm anti Spotify, because like I said, like we were kind of were getting into earlier. When we do these office hours, like today, I'm streaming Root Rocket. But when we do the catalog management, when we do the registration management, Spotify is a major part of that. And see, this is where artists kind of get it confused. I'm gonna get some game for artists who might be watching this or might not be watching this. A lot of times, guys focus. All you need is one, right? That's what my uncle Lucia said. You only need one, but let's just say the financial goals associated with what you could earn off of streaming spread across a catalog is way more lucrative than trying to push one song or one album or one project. Well, I got 10 projects. Look, brother, how many songs? Get you a catalog of like 100 and then get 1,000, 10,000 plays on each one. 10,000 plays on 100 songs. That's gonna give you a nice little bit of something that you could then do something else with. But they don't even think about that. So, but Spotify getting hacked by Iran. I would wonder because when I think of like cyber attacks, typically, right, they're connected to infrastructure and they attack infrastructure that can be, let's just say, mimicked and used to do something else. So, like, what do I mean by that? Like, I don't understand. Okay, so like, if so, like, oh, I mean, tell me if you saw the story. What did the attack? What did the attack? Did they get access to payment credentials? Did they get access to emails? What did they get access to user accounts? Because like I'm not I don't support Iran. I love my country. My country is complex. It's complicated. It's not perfect by any means at all. I don't think any country is, but I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. What use does them hacking Spotify? And I'm like, okay, so like I wonder, like, let's say, like, did did they do the hack? Do they do the cyber attack? And now we will see unfolding in the next following months. People start logging into their Spotify, thinking that they're logging into the Spotify that is operated to do what Spotify is really operated to do. But instead, when they log in, they're logging into something that's not Spotify that then gives them access to their credentials, computers, and all types of things of that nature. See, then that makes sense. That'll make sense to me. Like they do at the banks all the time. Like make me think that I'm logging into the proper bank, and lo and behold, I'm not logging into my bank. I'm logging into some fished social engineered site that now gave them access to my login credentials that are probably login credentials to something that's even more sensitive, not just my Spotify. So I have to look into that. I got a couple more root rakshas to string, and then I'll go to my Google. It says targeting Spotify's main servers, causing a major disruption to the website and completely. But see, like, okay, so but to what end? So then that agitates the population, right? So all of those endpoints, because like I think when I think about these type of things, okay, like so what what is the objective? So now, so what does that lead to? So you're gonna have point of in contact users who can't access Spotify. And then what just happened from there? That's gonna like support is gonna crumble because now you're gonna have massive amount of people. My Spotify is not working. My login is not working. All of these are gonna start coming in at the same time. And then okay, so at that point, I don't want to make it very juvenile, but like Inspector Gadget and Dr. Claw, right? Dr. Claw never, no plan he ever thought up ever got Gadget. Now Gadget did have Penny and Brain, because Gadget is a bumbling fool. We a doggone idiot. So let's just say like countries wise, w- I just try to understand. Okay, so if that is the objective, so okay, so you have this infrastructure issue, but then what? So now, so all these people, or like for example, I think like on YouTube it's happening. Like maybe there's been twice I tried to log onto a YouTube and it didn't work, and it's like YouTube is down. Google is that I like, and we take that for granted because I do run servers. Like that's something like we do the command line. I haven't been like I've been working on some other things, had a household activities that require my attention that I haven't been on that command line. I still got some work to do, but I'm like disrupting it just kind of like I said, just agitates the population. And then what benefit or use to Iran is an agitated because this probably wasn't just isolated. If was it just isolated in America, or was this Spotify global, like everybody? They say we are maintaining a complete shutdown of Spotify's. Okay, let me see what you said. You said they posted screenshots of down detector reports and added an update. We have increased the intensity of the attack on Spotify servers, and the login interface is now see right. So disable so say they disable the interface. And see, this is where it's also like I'm not gonna get too because you may not know it yet, but I can get way out there. How do I know that the Spotify login interface isn't masking something else? So people logging into Spotify thinking like, yeah, boom, 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 dirt, dirt, dirt. I'm gonna go listen to my favorite songs. Yeah, no, it's more to it than that. It's more to it than just your because like I can't wrap my mind around like, okay, so you disabled the login. Now what? What's the point of that? A whole bunch of angry Spotify users? Come on, man. If that's their objective of I mean that I guess these countries are crazy, man. Like, is it not sure how it's running? I don't use it, but I found that very interesting on Spotify, particularly, and in Iraq cyber group on man, cybercrime. They've been preparing us for cybercrime. Like, like a couple days ago, I watched Terminator. I fell asleep to it. Great movie, but easy to fall asleep to. They've kind of been like preparing this era and generation of people for everything precisely. And it's like the people who like my elders, they were like they told us, but we didn't think we would see it in our lifetime. So it's like my grandparents, they didn't get to see it. My oldest, like my parents, like my oldest uncles and aunts, like they didn't get to live to see it. But there are people on this, like I said, like guys who are in their like 60s, late 60s, 70s. I couldn't even because to it's almost like how we look at there's youth on the planet that have never they have no knowledge of a world that is not connected through a mobile device. Guys like you and me, our age, guys a little bit older, and guys in their middle early 30s, they literally lived in a world where there wasn't a a phone in your pocket. I mean, they had cell phones, but car phones back in the 90s, but not like this. There's a whole generation of people who they are living in a world, the world they come from. This is loopy. What you mean I can sit up on a computer and live stream all over the world? What the hell are you talking about? Like this ain't somebody born in 1931. They checking out of here, but some of them are still around. So I think the same way the world is like that for them, for those of us who get to survive and thrive, that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing these transitions. And so, like I said, like when I think like, okay, like so they shut down Spotify, they blocked Spotify. What to what end? What does that do? but it has bigger. I think it would have larger implications if they could shut down Spotify. Well, then what's stopping them from shutting down Netflix or targeting Netflix? And if they could target Netflix, then what's stopping them from targeting Amazon? And I'm not, like I said, I'm kind of far out there. I'm not so far removed from thinking all of those are front operations. They just happen to be front facing and have a utility. They have a utility that's front facing, but behind the scenes, they function and they're used. Just say for instance, I'm gonna go way out there right now. Human beings, this is why I don't believe in chips and implantable devices in the brain. We're electrical, we're chemical, we're biological, and we're spiritual. There's no man or no blueprint or no patent that could figure out how to interface all what I say, biological, chemical, spiritual, physical, something like that. There's nothing that they can find to interface all of that. So like I could interface sound with my headphone because we got an eardrum and this knows how to but there's no way that like in my mind that I could accept or r- that I can hear the sound and not have it play through some type of device that interfaces. So why do I say that? Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all of them, those could just be interfaces. And what they're really doing with them is completely different than what the utility front facing to the consumer is. It's like back like in the old world, radio waves, frequencies, all of that. You dial into one frequency, yeah, you're gonna get smooth jazz. You identify the right frequency, you're gonna get some communication that wasn't supposed to be on the smooth jazz channel. And only a specific people were supposed to hear that because they knew what frequency to tune into. So that would be I'd be interested in seeing, okay, why are they targeting that and what are the implications of what does that communicate? What does that demonstrate that they're capable of doing? And how does that disrupt? We may never really know what it truly disrupts because it's not front facing for us to know. Like I said, in my little onyx and ivory tower, get to string up my root rocks. Do I got some people who want to see me hard? Yeah. I said, oh, I hate his guts. And I say, and the metaphysicists would say that's all my subconscious from all of the turmoil I've experienced on planet Earth. That's me bringing it, and I'm not so far from accepting that. Because a part of me, like, I like the say the tension. That see, there's certain things about tension and conflict that really kind of activate. Now, there's a beautiful thing to be like at peace and not have to be on it like that. But there's a what I how do I say it? Like when you've been wearing your armor for a long time, you kind of get used to wearing it and not wanting to take it off because nobody else is gonna carry it for me. And as men, we're kind of it's our job to carry these loads for however long we got to it, so we don't carry them anymore. Which is why I say it's good. You know, saying you have people to talk to, but there may come a time in life you may not have no people to talk to, or the people that you want to talk to, they not around. And then so then what do you do? See, now I get to use one of my skill sets. Russian. Create a massive knot where there's not supposed to be one. I got that skill from my pops. I don't want to tell people too much about me, too much about us. But like my dad, that brother could take a knot out of anything. I don't care how tangled it is. And I inherited that skill set too. I don't care how. Like I'm not going to because this is like old and I'm creating a whole new string. Let me see. Can I get it up there? Y'all might be able to see it. But that like knot right there, I could get that out without question. And this has been like knotted for like over like a year. I could get that out. No problem. It's problem solving. So as we kick it on these lives, we gotta get to know each other a little bit more. Mm. And I did say I wanted to restrain my root rocks, so I'm pleased that we get to do this tonight. We've been on stream about an hour. Like this is definitely not gonna be a long stream tonight. We're gonna keep it kind of real mellow. But for those of you who know me, you know like these root rocks are kind of like my signature. They have been for a while. Like I said, I'm not Hindu, I'm not Buddhist, but I did bring back some of that with me. That's why I say I'm a terrible Christian. See, I think people get mad at me. They say you're a hypocrite. Yes, I am. I just own it. You know what I'm saying? I just own it. Like it's like, hey man, you want me to be the only man walking planet Earth that's internally consistent. You charge me with that of all people. Of all people walking planet Earth, you charge me to be the one, knowing damn well you'll never be that guy, but I gotta be it. I gotta be the one that I tell you, like people. I think that kind of burns people out sometimes because it's like, what about accountability? It's like, what about it? I was wrong. What more accountability does there need to be? Oh, I know what it needs to be. You need to punish me for however long you seek fit, which is never satisfied. Cause like I said, I gotta die. So that's always been enough for me. Anybody I got a problem with, I know they gotta go. They got to go. And they will go. So why should I have a problem? What problem do I have? Like that should neutralize. You would think that that would neutralize it all. Like no, they got what they got grave oaths. I'm gonna even when you even you know what you did. You thought differently than me, and because you thought differently than me in the afterlife, I'm gonna hold this grudge. I'm like, man, that got like I carry my armor, but like, man, that got to, and that's probably like why so much suffering. Like you got a lot of that going on in the world. It's like, man, let that go. 'Cause I'm gonna let you down. I'm not going to sit up there and try to act like, yeah, we almost done. And how exhausting that has to be when and I see this a lot with like young artists. How exhausting it has to be to always be right. 'Cause I got a phrase. As much as I like being right, okay being wrong. But as much as because I'm with the best of them, like who don't like being right? And then we get to a point like where we graduate and we're like being right. What does that even mean? I was right. I was right the whole time. Like, so what? Yeah, man, needle working, man. And then when like I said, we only got, I didn't count them. And then it actually makes me want to string up these ones, but like I won't do that until they pop. Now, see, like the lore, like in their culture, now Hindu's a little bit different than Buddhists. It's like Sunni Shias, like we're all the I don't want to say freaking same. 'Cause I'm working on my profanity. The sacred and profane. I'm working on my profanity. So all of these factions that express how they view the world, right? So for them, when like Rude Rasha snapped, like mine snapped, like I was asleep. I woke up and it was snapped. They said that I was under attack in the most unconscious state. Now, I look at it as that's a release, and restringing it is a recommitment, not to whatever was released, to something new, something greater, a greater destination. Even though, like I said, I'm not Hindu and I'm not Buddhist. My Christian brothers and sisters say you dabbling with them doctrines of demons, and I'm like, look, man, we just ain't been to the same places, man. A lot that's I don't want to. I'm not gonna start Bible thumping tonight, but a lot of Christians, at least Christians I've met, they real sheltered. And it's like it's, it's such a massive world, man. And then just it's like, yeah, if you I mean, we haven't had them many in a while in here. They'll come into the YouTube chat, start try to convert and preach. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna get you out of here. Not because I don't appreciate it, but it's just to me, it is one of the weirdest thing of and I don't know why I don't see other like religions do it. Or maybe they do, and that's just not on my algorithm. I'm talking about the Bible thumpers. They come in, especially if, like, I say my content's a little bit more family friendly. If my content was more radical, and it's kind of like hard to kind of, it's not because people love to judge anyway. So that's what people love. We love to do as people. We love judging. That's and then acting like, don't you judge me. But I'm going to judge all day long. But this type of channel doesn't really yield too much into polarizing beliefs. Now, this is a music channel, generally speaking, but it is a philosophy channel, and you got to be watching careful of that too, because like all this bad philosophy on YouTube, and it's like, man, it's so kind of like trendy to be like, oh, I met a philosopher. It's like, well, then take your philosopher behind to the doggone college campus and go ahead and get you a degree, and then go get you a master's, and then go get you a doctorate, and then go work at a library. No, but it's like I guess it's perceived as higher level, and there's some tough, but man, a lot of that stuff, man, is interesting, but it's just human thoughts, man. That's why I got that song, ripped off the Band-Aid. Ripped off the Band-Aid, your philosophy's man-made. Ripped off the Band-Aid, ripped off the Band-Aid. Your science and your philosophy is man-made, quoting old books while your soul get played. I can only imagine saying that, "Well, I've been the philosopher." Yeah, so that you believe in that stuff, man. You believe in that stuff, man. That's man-made, man. Well, what isn't man-made? Do you really want to have that conversation? That's gonna we're gonna be here a while. We start trying to get into what's not man-made that exists, like morals. They don't want to have these conversations though, man. And sometimes I don't blame them. Sometimes I don't blame them. See, we almost see. We gotta be real. All right, so let's get this right. Get that out of there. What did I do? Okay, okay. We got it back. I think. I think we about to get it back. Yeah, I think we did. I think we got it back. All right, so now put that through here, then do this through here. And this has been a pretty good session too, because now, mind you, sometimes restringing these back, the string pops. So the fact that we've been able to get all through all of these and not had the string pop, the gurus would say that's auspicious. Like the philosophers who like using those big words. hmm I had that Paul Pierce Jayhawk in high school. Yeah, man. You said there are Quran thumpers in the chat. Look, my Muslim brothers and sisters, they're out of control too. I said, like, I'm all for like the heavy conversations sometimes. Not all the time. I like to keep it mellow, but religion and all that. My, my brothers and my Islamic brothers and sisters who want to walk around like they so pious, right? It's like, who we try to fool? Me? Or we try to fool ourselves? Like, what are we really doing? What are we really doing? It's, yeah, man. It's a crazy world, man. But I say bless their heart, man. And when it's like time to be serious business, we do that. But I have not had anybody try to come convert me to Islam in the doggone YouTube chat. I ain't had that yet, but I know it's algorithm based. I know it. And that's what's funny to me too, because it'd be like the algorithm is what we were talking about the mirror before. I don't believe algorithms is simply a mirror. I think that algorithms can be directed. So I don't think it's just okay if I look at this and I watch this and I look at this, it is going to do that as well, but it's also going to come with, let's say, that predictive programming. We want, if you're watching conspiracy theory, well, they want to pair that with something else. Because the funny thing about like ideology, right? There is no like one ideology that's independent to itself. It always comes like with layers, which is what makes it like really dangerous. Like you get the surface layer, and you think, "Oh, man, that's harmless, like, it's just this," but then you start kinda getting deeper into the understanding of the people, you start recognizing certain pattern recognitions, you start identifying, "Okay, this is casually associated with this," then but over here, you don't th that connection isn't made from that casual association, but they all kind of occupy in the same space, and it can get really funky. It can get super funky. And my thing is like, see, it's not my world to rule. Don't start fights that you can't win. It's, 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 it's a lot of times it's just that simple. Don't start a fight you can't win. But if you're thinking you're just gonna fight just to fight, and you don't care about winning or losing, it's a crazy ideology. And then if there is an end game or end goal, a lot of times, like I said, like society, humanity, it would be arrogant of me to assert that I have an understanding of what the end goal of humanity is for my nation or abroad. I'm not preview to that information at all. I'm not privy to that. And frankly, I don't want to be. And they say, "Oh, look, you just take the easy way out." No, what you want me to do? You want me to carry the burden of what is the 500-year plan for humanity? And I know they got it. I know they got. Well, I don't know, but I believe they have it. These people aren't trying to stop tomorrow because it could all be over tomorrow. It could all be over tomorrow. But these people want, and that's it's like I'm not gonna get too deep. Like my hometown. My hometown was founded in like 1882. And when I think about that, I just be dumbfounded because like I'd be like, bro, like I'm out here doing what I'm doing. My family, we out here doing what we doing. We living and enjoying life and struggling and living good and all that. Man, 1822, they was out here doing the same thing. But that was then. Those people is gone. And this joke is still we rocking and rolling. So it's like I don't think that, let's just say 2082, more than likely I've already accepted that I'm not gonna be here for 2082. I'm not gonna be here for that. What is it? If it's 2026, 2030 is 4 years from now. So that means 2032 is 6 years from now. Man, and it's a 2082. That's another 50 years. Maybe. Like I want to live a long life. Maybe. I didn't take good care of myself though. I've just started. I've just started at halftime. I made it to halftime injured. I made it to halftime injured, and now I'm like, yeah, let's start now. I mean, every day, every second counts, right? I did take good care of myself, so yeah. But another 50 years, I can't even begin. We talking about Spotify and all, man. 50 years from now, none of that stuff is gonna matter. None of those platforms. Like right now, we building YouTube, but I would think YouTube would be like, yeah, we want to be around 50 years from now. But what's the likelihood of that? What's the chances of saying like the platform we know is YouTube is going to be around 50 years from now? I wouldn't be just so ready to be like, yeah, sure. Nah. Cause there's so much stuff from 50 years ago that I have no clue about. I haven't been on a planet 50 years. Almost, but not yet. Okay, I think we're in. I think we're in. I think we are in. Yeah, I think we are in it to win it. So we're gonna tie that up. And then we're gonna get that knot right there. And then we're gonna tie another one just so it's extra secure. Yeah, let's go. Okay, and then now we're going to draw that in like that. Then we're gonna put this through here like so. Man, I didn't anticipate I was gonna restring the root rocket on live. See, I could have never. I've done this hundreds of times. I should tell you, I've had hundreds of breakthroughs. We always having breakthroughs. Setbacks too, though. Setbacks are new starting points. Man, 50. Look, we have to work on letting go. Say not holding grudges. We ran hard lines in the sand with our women. They could have been more tender-hearted. I laugh about it because I would have said that I am like we are, but ran hard lines in the sand, real hard lines in the sand. But man, a lot of times, like I said, I start that manhood channel. I got some stories. And the crazy thing is, there's a young man right now. He right now, he be like, "Why you laughing at me?" I'm not laughing at you, but you're just gonna have to go through it. Mhm. You got to go through it like the rest of us, and see if you make it out. And like the brothers who were able to like maintain like their relationships until the end. See, those are I want to talk to them brothers. Like, how'd you do it? What'd you do? Because I've never. That's not gonna be um, my story. But I'm like, man, yeah. And he's not going. He's not going to. He's not going to want to face it. See, brother, like myself, we get knocked down. Like we're gonna have to face it, and you're gonna have to move and adjust. You have to move and adjust, or you be stuck. You be stuck there forever, man. We're not gonna do that. Not at all. So we got that done. Yeah, man. Pretty pleased. Pretty pleased. Pretty pleased. Hold on, I'll be back. Oh, man. Some young man don't have to even worry about the young and concern himself about that. That man just get up. But it's an opportunity for me to be grateful so that I don't know how old he was, but these guys he had an 82nd airborne hat on. So I said, I don't know why I run into airborne so much. But they say my mirror, that's my subconscious communicating with the with the universe. But that's a real old man. That's a real old man. Like I say, like young men, like to like a guy in his 20s and 30s, he thinks a man in his 40s is old. Unless he has exposure to, and that's why I think it's such a tragedy for a lot of men now. A lot of men are raised and they're kind of brought up in isolation from other men. I could go into a whole conversation on what I think that yields and what type of personality traits I think that yields. But it's like as men, when we were little boys, we need like if you didn't have older brothers, you needed older cousins, or JV needed varsity, and so on and so forth. And I don't think it ever stops. Because you get guys, like I said, guy who's 24 years old, he think a man that's 42 years old is old. And in a sense, he is. He got 20 something, but a 20-year-old look back 10 years, you were 10. So, but a 20-year-old want to tell a 40-year-old something. A 4-year-old look back 10 years, he's 30. He got some, he gonna have some stories. Yeah, I hope you have some stories, unless I be, I don't know how you couldn't have some stories. Useful ones too. But it's like, man, these young dudes, man, they wanna, and I think the internet does it too. Cause like I said, I come from an era, you're not talking back to like when I saw that old man today, like they were taught there was two old men in wheelchairs, and I asked permission, can I like interject into your conversation? Young people now would be they wouldn't even cross their mind to like announce yourself when you enter into it. Yeah, they talking. It's like, man, I can't eat. Not that you need to be loud and just talking crazy, but just as a measure of timidity in men that I see, and I don't liken it to women because oddly enough, like it's almost like the polar opposite. Younger women now are way less timid than younger men are of their comparative. Where it's like the world I come from, that kind of was flipped. So like when I see a timid like young woman, that's like it's almost reminiscent of a world that doesn't even exist anymore. It's like wow, she was super soft spoken. Now the young men, and then the ones who aren't soft spoken, they are just over the top with no filter. And that man, that's a recipe for disaster. It's dangerous. I know when I'm a couple old man, like like an old man, one of these young dudes come with me, like I'm not going to be. I, I I will do everything in my power to like de-escalate, but man, the just the disrespect and the rudeness that some of these young cats got, man, please. Let me see. What you say, 50? You say you know it be. Listen to that Alchemist, win or lose, lyrics, so, but that win or lose, you know that one? Win, I might probably got something to that. I might have something to that already. But I don't know. If I don't have something to it, like I said, that's another thing. Like the way I create, I haven't rhymed. Like I said, I'm focused on my head of household like duties. Not that that means that I can't create at the same time simultaneously. It just takes a little bit. I prefer to do it when I want to. So let's see. Win or lose. Oh, goodness. I'll be able to tell by just off of the thumbnail if this is. So this is on the mod D. Win or lose instrumental. I'll be able to tell just off the thumbnail. I don't know. I don't. Let me mute this up because they want to punish me. They want to penalize me. So let me mute that and let me play this.
Honestly,
It's actually super profound. 'Cause whether I win or lose, man, here I go again. Or as I like to say, more of the same. Love me every day ask me, how you doing? How you doing? More of the same. You probably hate it. You probably sick about it. You probably sick of why I want to know, but you probably want to know the details. Uh-uh. I don't got no details to give you. I do, but no, I'm not gonna do that. No, no, no details. Yeah, so we got the root roster three strong. Nice. Yeah, that's that mid-20s mindset I had before. Yeah, man, that probably changed everything about how you saw the world, man. I can't even imagine, man. Yeah, you a different type of cat. Yeah, to do what you done. Yeah, it's not something that just a run of the mill guy says, you know what I'm gonna do today? Uh, I'm gonna go do that. Mm-mm. Yeah, you're different guy. You kind of out there. You got to be, but man, it's life. So but I'm sure you got some stories without question. I mean, like I said, every man got story. We all got stories, but yeah, doing that type of work, yeah, man, I can only imagine. You say my music at this point is like closing the loop and preparing for that next. Hey man, the time is now, man. I tell you, this is a season of transformation. Like I said, any man, like some of they in the third quarter, some of them still halftime. Third quarter, 45 to 65. It's the third quarter. See, a lot of us when they want to retire and hey, the game is still on. Like I said, I took that that old man. I saw that and I spoke because he reminded me of the old men that like raised me. So when I see him, I know him. Like I recognize him. I can tell him, and it's just like he said to the last drop. I felt that. I understand what he's saying. Like yeah, he's an old man now. Young men, 52 thinking it's over. You 44 thinking it's oh, I'm old. I'm washed up. I'm 43. Oh, I'm 41. Man, if you don't shut the hell up. Talk about you ain't even earned the right to talk about well, I want to retire. And I mean it's like guys who get to retire early, like great, good job, whatever. But it's like, seriously? The game is still going. I want to play. I don't want to say I want to play extra innings, but make it to the Hall of Fame, you know, and not like professional sports, game of life. So yeah, man, this right here. How do I see it? Say this is a very transformative period of time, and I like to call it growth and increase. I know my life is in a rapid spiral upward. Now we've spiraled down, but yeah, man, we got to climb back up. And this time right here, this is the perfect time to, like I said, one take better care of ourselves. And the time is now. I very and I share it, like I said, with the world because anybody who know me or interacts with me understands this. It could be personal and super private, but I don't really see the use of keeping it that way, but the mission is to continue. Know yourself. In my instance, know myself and keep my affairs in order. Well, those two things. And every day, it's nobody's responsibility for me to take inventory of, did I demonstrate knowing myself, and did I demonstrate keeping my affairs in order? As long as I do that, then I'm gonna be all right. And so I think for all men, especially the men who come to this channel, that's like a recurring theme that I want to, let's say, impart with men and the ladies too, who, 'cause I do have like it's like a 24%. I know who I think it is. I think she'd be watching me. Or maybe I want her to be watching me, but not. The the women who watch my channel too, to understand like that, like that's what it is. Like, did we demonstrate today? I know, like, I demonstrated knowing myself. I demonstrated keeping my affairs in order. And I know what that looks like, and I know what it doesn't look like. Those spirals you drifting. So yeah, man, that's what we on. And so my music articulates in a creatively expressed format my perspective at a raw point where it's really no filters. Like that's why I like these lives too, because creating content and creating videos and long form videos, there's certain filters. And of course there's filters that are necessary. But yeah, man, that music, anybody who really chooses to listen and isn't listening to analyze and to, oh well, this is mid, or like they're listening to music to grade it because they're really grading themselves. As I say, like, once men have had careers and lived lives and started families and done things that failed at families, like I said, I got a lyric said, being a failed family man doesn't make me a monster. So some people say, yeah, you're a monster. You failed. You failed. You failed everybody. You failed yourself. You failed everyone. It's your fault. It's like, yeah, okay. Maybe I did. But you can just remove the maybe. But it's like, nah, man. Demonstrate those things every day, every single day. And the days when you can't, mm, you're gonna have to figure out what got in the way. hmm That's what we're going to apart. You said Casanova Dome. Yeah, once upon a time. Once upon a time. Now, even to some degree, yes, sometimes, but man, love you just need to leave me alone right now. I, that's my advice. 'Cause I tell you, every now and then I get some young men to come into the channel and say, "Oh, give me some advice about women." I tell them, leave them alone. How about you do that? Unless you're trying to start a family and have some kids and whatnot, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Because the ones you not trying to leave alone, more than likely, probably not any good for you. And the real big caveat is you probably not no good for her. You're not good for each other. So leave each other alone. But they don't want to hear that. They're not gonna listen to that. But that's how it goes. So they say, where we at right now? Let's clear this. Done. Yeah, we done. Over there, yeah, we did that. And we strung at the root rocks. Yeah, man. We gonna say this is a good time to call it to an end, man. We've been at here. We've been at for 2 hours, man. See, I say, where did the time go, man? Time just be flying, man. Yeah, man, Robert. I do definitely appreciate you coming in. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot, we get to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's solid, man. It ain't no hostilities, and because I tell you, man, this internet is crazy, bro. Like for real, like people just not, I guess, say socially adjusted to where you just have this conversation. It got to be one up, and one. It's like, man, you had that. They can have that. So yeah, we on man. This may see my stream log is getting jacked up because I've been running those all night streams playing the catalog. So those have been counting as like my daily streams, but when I stream for 24 hours, it just overlaps and I don't have the exact day, which is a problem for my logs. So we're gonna do this one is May 13th, 2026. All right, so we got that there. Paste. All right, cool. We're gonna have that. We're gonna handle that. Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna call that a wrap, man. I said we look forward. We got some more good stuff coming. We're gonna get back to doing our thing, what we do with the music, and because we still have so much of the catalog to, let's just say, manage. And every day that system becomes more robust. And it's a system that not only is beneficial to me, anybody who observes who does music, it's a system. If you don't have one already, you better figure out a way to do it because the microwaves are coming, the garage door openers are coming, the machines are coming. They're gonna do it for you. So you better put yourself in a position, a condition to operate from a position of strength. Yeah. So we just crossed our threshold. Yeah, we hit our goals. 2 hours. Yeah, man. You say I got the gift of the original essence of hip hop, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Take care of yourself, man. Yeah, man. We got plenty of streams, man. You can run it back. So we run it. Yeah, man. Most definitely, man. Salute to you all day, every day. So everybody else, we're gonna kick it in. We're gonna get back, Lord willing. We're gonna be back same time. Say YouTube's not receiving enough from a stream. Ain't that so? So that's a good time to go. May this reach you up, happy and healthy in the land of the living. Much love, respect, and as always, peace. In.